green screen on here too. If it'll work. If this will work. I just need the stuff. Come on. Come on, you can do this. Also, hi everybody! I don't look the greatest right now, and I mean, I hate YouTube's green screen, so I might just not do this. Just click on that again. No, 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 no. No, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. No, no, no. There we go. Do that. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's do that one. Alright, that works. Have my car as kind of background anyways. So hi! How's it going, everybody? I'm here, I'm live, I'm chilling. I've been live for a while, so I figured I'd go live today. This is just a rest day for me. I don't think I'll be doing much. I might film a YouTube video later today, but that's basically it. It'll just be talking about my track day adventure and stuff. Plus, I do need to make a couple phone calls today and stuff like that, but some business related, some car related, because I need to get this thing in alignment, something severe. And then I need to call the Mustang shop and try and get a heater for my car. So yeah. There's a lot to do, to be honest. And then something else I want to do is at some point in the next bit, get up to Edmonton, do another junkyard tour, see if I can pull some parts for my truck. And then at the same time, not only pull parts for the truck, but also try and see if I can cut the rear quarters out for this car. And get some seats for my truck, which I have the seats. I just need to kind of clean them up and install them in my car. So, or in my truck. Which they're box body seats, oddly enough. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Honestly, we'll see. To be honest, it's gonna be interesting because I mean, it could have happened before, but to my knowledge, people haven't put Fox body seats in a dead side Ford. And my only thing that I am worried about is if it is too tall. I'm gonna have to measure with the seat mounts and the rails and all that different stuff in place of that. So we shall see, because right now, like, I have basically no adjustability with my current bench seat, or at least very little. And I have, like, it's obviously a bench seat, so it's not tall. So, like, it kills my shoulders driving that truck, and they're, like, very firm seats. So that's why I was thinking, well, I've got those Fox body seats that are tan, and that kind of... Okay, sorry about that. It glitched out, which is sad because we were on a roll of talking about stuff. But yeah, so anyways, with the truck, because if you don't know, I have a 76 F250. She needs a lot of work. I am planning on giving it the bulk of that work. Like, I'm still searching for a box, but there's one here in town. However, it's a little rusty. And again, I'm not opposed to a rusted box, but I'm not paying $450 like the guy wants for that box. I refuse to do it. You know, like, I might pay like $200 for it, just so that I can have a metal bed floor again, because mine's pretty rusted. So, I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I can't really afford to do that much anyways, because like I said, I gotta get some work done on the car. I gotta buy some parts. And then I've got to check out my spark plugs as well, because that might be the cause of my misfire. I called my buddy Roy Marco, which he has a YouTube channel, although he hasn't posted in a long time on it, because there's some weird stuff about that. But anyways, not the point. On his YouTube channel, anyways, like, we met through YouTube, both me and Roy. And I actually called him last night, and I was trying to figure out my car. Like, she just would not start after I swapped the distributor out. And I thought that was my smoking gun. But no, I was still misfiring and still not running 100%. Now, I think I might actually back off the timing a tad. I don't know what it's currently set to, but it's not proper. And I mean, I tune it by ear. And so, yeah, like where I had it set up initially, I was really surprised. It actually ran at 300 RPM, at the idle. I'm like, yeah, that's a little too low. It sounded kind of bitching, but that was too low of an idle. So the car likes a lot more timing typically, and getting it to that, like idle at just under 1,000 RPM is what it really likes for some reason. I don't understand why. It's always kind of been the case, but I don't know. I'm also probably gonna hook up my vacuum gauge to the car and see how that is when adjusting the timing and stuff, because it does make a difference to the vacuum. So I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. But the car was feeling good when I first swapped the distributor, and then but once it started to get really warm, then it fell on its face again. So, and started to misfire like crazy, and it's just, getting not great fuel economy. And like I'm planning on, so Friday, like I'm going down to Lethbridge, which Lethbridge, that's where I grew up. It's my hometown. um I am actually selling some parts to a dude, and then I might be meeting another guy down there because he's heading to the same place, and I've already pre-sold some parts to him. So we'll see. Like I've got these SVO Mustang control arms and spindles for the guy that lives down in Lethbridge. And then this other guy bought a bumper off me, and then he's going to be buying some other accessories, like he wiper arms off of me for a Fox body, and the little triangle windows, or not windows, but little triangle trim pieces inside. I just got to make sure I have those. I'm pretty sure I do. I know I have the wiper arms. I saw them. And I believe I have a couple of spare of those as well for the mirrors, and it just, when you have the mirrors inside, it's just that little trim piece. That's all it is. So we'll see how that all works out too, because the problem is I'm going to be driving Stitch, right? Down there. And with driving Stitch down there, that's going to be, well, it getting shitty fuel economy doesn't help matters. Because, yeah, she's not great at the moment. Like, she used to get, over 30 miles to the gallon. I'm getting like 26, 25 at the moment. It's not great. So, and then as well, it'll be nice to actually have heat again. So that's why, like I said, I'm planning on leaving here at about 10 or 11 o'clock ish. And oh, that was John. Oh, I don't know why he didn't have to text me that. But okay, sure. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, he was just texting me to say there's somebody that wants to run our dyno, but like with no permissions and stuff like that for the lot and whatever else. And it's just like, yeah, we don't touch that. We always make sure that everybody has permissions for us to set up our dyno and stuff like that. It require, like, sometimes it'll require permits. It definitely requires insurance on their end. But yeah, and for reference, if you don't know, like I am a dyno operator. We go around to a bunch of different car shows and even do private events for people and figure it out. Like run cars all day long and drop them down and make some power. It's fun. But that's the whole thing. And I was talking with a client last night for a potential car show next September. So we shall see. We shall see. Oh, jeez, John. I can't. No, I'm not. I'll have to, yeah, I'll have to reply to that later. I'm just, hi, Mike. How goes, dude? Nice to see ya. And boa? I don't know what that means. Like, there's like boa constrictors, and they're like a snake, and it goes, around you, and it like coils you and like tries to eat you. But I don't know what boa means outside of that. No idea. But hi. Uh, and I'm just here. I'm tired, very tired, because from Saturday to yesterday, I have physically driven over 1,400 kilometers. I'm not used to driving that much. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I'll do like 500 kilometers in a day. Sure. But usually like I'll rest or whatever else afterwards. So that's a unique experience, going to and from Fort McMurray within 3 days. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, and that's something I'll have to get used to. And then, and we go to, like, we service, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan for the most part. We've been to Manitoba. I wasn't able to get on that trip, but, we shall see. And then I was talking with a client last night, like I said, about one slightly up north. It was not actually Fort McMurray, but... And the thing is, with that particular one, everything sounds good so far in the talks about that show, and we kind of discussed a little bit on emails last night, and then, yeah. So I'm just waiting for a reply from him and see how that goes, and then I can figure everything else out afterwards. Because this is kind of the interesting part of, I am taking over the business, right, of Devon Dyno. That's, I will be the owner of the business, or at least starting to own the business, next year. And as a result, I got to think about all this stuff and think of, like, the business side, which is something I haven't done in the past. I've just been an employee, and this year I've taken on a much bigger role, and I've been managing the crew and everything on the dyno. Like, in case in point, I did that video on here of that altered rail dragster sort of idea. Well, it's not a full-on rail, but it was an altered Ford dragster, like front engine dragster anyways, from back in the day. And I kind of showed, like, what we had to do to actually get the thing up on the dyno, because that was a pain in the ass. And I actually want to actually chat with John about that, if we can add some things to the trailer so that can be easier if we have to do that in the future. So we'll see. But overall, it's been pretty good. And the improvements that they have made, both him and JJ have made to the dynos throughout the years, it has been spectacular. So we'll see. And like when we were in Fort McMurray, and working the 955 engineers car show there, it was only their second ever car show, and I was really surprised at the amount of cars that we ran because of just how small the show was. There was only like 40 or 50 cars at that show. Like, that is for us, that's a really small show. Oh my god. Did that really just get put into my chat? I mean, Chris's comment was funny, but Mike, Jesus Christ, you're trying to hit on a lesbian. It's not gonna work out so well for you there, dude. Just saying. Before you get too far ahead of yourself, you should back down from this course of action. Because you with penis, me no likey. Grow vagina, maybe we'll talk, but even still, that age, nah, I'm good. Good. We have fun here, right? But yeah, it's fun. And figuring out how to, strap some of these vehicles down, even like, when we were doing that altered dragster, on the dyno, figuring out where the hell to strap that thing down was a challenge. Because as an example, like at the front, we couldn't go through the wheels, just as an example. And we just had to go through like the sort of control arm spot. That worked. At the back, we had to like in the back, we always use 4 straps, right? There's 2 that are usually fairly straight, although they can be angled and it's fine, but usually fairly straight. And then there's 2 that are angled in the middle, right? That's usually how it goes. And so the angled ones, we got that figured out. We were able to get onto the chassis of it and hook it on. And then at the and then for like the straight ones, we actually went to just by his shoulders actually on his cage. And it worked. So it's great. Oh, I love my chat sometimes. You guys are awesome. Oh, that's good, Kim. That's good. I like that. I like that. But yeah, so that was a very neat experience. And we actually had to grab, so we have 4 ramps, like 4 of the big ramps for the dyno, right? And we grabbed one of the steel ramps from the other side. That's normally where we dismount, and spun it around, put it back down, put the jack stand underneath of it, grab the pieces of wood to fill in the dead space there, and then made it work that way. So that was pretty good, honestly. It worked out well. It's unfortunately the car didn't make any power. He's having like either ignition issues, or because I asked him, like, has anything changed on your setup? Because like he's been fighting this for a while. And he's like, the only thing I changed is the cam. I'm like, you could have a bad cam in it. Like, that could cause it not to rev, to be honest. That, or it's the wrong cam for your setup. It shouldn't make it stop revving, but you never know. If it's too small, as an example, it's not going to work. And that sort of thing. So that's what I kind of suggested to him, is like, check that out, and also check out your MSD box and go from there, right? I love that somebody just said, what the fuck, in the chat. What? You haven't seen... So hang on. You say, what the fuck, and then you say, hello, baby, how are you? Jesus Christ. The audacity of these men. What? Pain without love, pain, can't get enough pain. Yeah, that's what that was right there. That's what that was. We're having fun here. You know, but honestly, it's been a good few days. I was just like, so, like, going to Fort McMurray, running the dyno, coming back from Fort McMurray yesterday, and then coming back home. I was not intending on actually getting all the way back home from, I was planning on staying in Edmonton and doing a couple things, so I was up there, but it just did not work out. So, and that, okay, I'll need to, do that. There we go. But yeah. And the highs on this channel helps explain to me the lows sometimes. Well, the thing is, the thing is on this channel, because yeah, there are really good moments, when we're able to like get the car running good and everything perfect and whatever else, and racing, that's kind of the highs. The excitement I get when seeing some of the vehicles, that's some of the highs. Some of the lows is when like something breaks and then I'm confused as hell and I'm just frustrated and whatever else. But you guys see all that, right? Like, I do not censor the channel that way. You will see my mistakes. You will see everything like that, because I want to be as transparent as possible. I am not perfect by any means. And even like last night when I was swapping the distributor on the car, I didn't film any of that. But which was kind of fun. So I had to take a distributor out of a running car at my buddy's place, swap in an HDI that he had for it into that car, and then take that distributor from that, put it into Stitch, and I was not getting, I guess my firing order was off, even though I swear to God it was right, but it wasn't. It wasn't running. And then I was getting really frustrated. I couldn't get a hold of my buddy that actually lives there. So it was like, okay. He may have had like a migraine or something like that. It's possible. But anyways, so then I called my buddy Roy, right? And I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Whatever else. And then I asked him, like, I was telling him about my problem. And he's like, well, why don't you try the pull every single plug wire off, have your number one in, see if it'll try and fire. You know? And it's like, okay, let's try that. I'd never even thought of doing it that way. And then did that, and it tried to fire somewhat, because again, it's only one cylinder. And then I just redid my firing order, and then bam, it fired up. I'm like, what the? I swear to God I had the firing order correct, but then again, I was so tired. Like, your brain just stops working, right? When you get really tired. And yeah, like my meter of like caring about the quality of stuff goes out the window the more tired I get. That's a thing, honestly, because even like with the trailer, when I did not fully like, and I normally do this a lot better, but at the end of the day, I was just really effing tired. Normally I like wrap up all the straps and stuff like that and put them in their respective cases, which again, they're all in the proper case, like in their proper milk crates, whatever. But yeah. And then it's nice though, because like I'm going to make my truck, my 76 F250, I'm going to make that into the support truck for this whole ordeal. Which will be good, honestly. That'll be fantastic for that thing. And it'll do it very well. It's not going to be towing the dyno trailer, because there's no shot in hell it's going to be able to do that. But my friend Brenda, who she is now going to be my, like, number one, right? So I'm going to be relying on her a lot with some of this stuff. And I'm going to have her talk to some of the clients at times or whatever else, but I'll do majority of that. And, like, she's actually going to be learning the computer system, which is great, because I haven't had the opportunity to. Like, John has wanted me to do it, but I have not had the opportunity to actually learn the computers, because I play such a very integral role with the whole dyno thing, because, like, I'm the one that's guiding them onto the dyno, I'm guiding the crew, I'm showing them what to do, all that different stuff, right? So it's kind of hard to pull me off of that and do that. Chris, that dyno is 11,000 pounds. My truck's not doing that. It'd have to make a lot more power to do that, and it would have to get a lot of suspension upgrades to be able to. And I need much better cooling and stuff like that, and it wouldn't work with my truck. There's no shot in hell that my truck will do that. Now, if it had a 460 in it, different story, but I'm not swapping out that 300. I refuse to. I do want it to build a little more power, but the thing is, I've had it on the dyno. It made 95 horsepower, 240-ish foot-pounds of torque, right? That's what it made. So, and I have ideas to make it make a little more power, like make the exhaust a little more free-flowing, also not leaking from the downpipe. Because do you remember, and again, you might not, but do you remember, I have a Hooker Super Competition Series long tube header for a Ford 250 inline six, and that it would not fit in this car, right? Because it's from a 250 rather than a 200. They have a 4-inch taller deck height than these 200s. So that's the reason why. And if it was for a 200, it would fit perfectly. That's the reason why it's not on the car. I have thought about it, though, and I'm like, well, I already have the short tube. It's ceramic coated. It works. It's in there. And don't get me wrong. I know that it's not going to fit perfectly the way it is, but I wanted to ask my buddy that is good with building headers and whatever else like that if that header might be able to be modified, he'd have to cut it up a little bit, but that's okay. I'm totally comfortable with him doing that. And building that so that it'll actually fit, and then run it out and have dual exhausts dumped out the sides with some decent mufflers on it. That's the idea, but we'll see. It's not a guarantee of how that's going to work out. Also, hiya, Derek. How's it going? Well, I don't know. That's kind of, like I said, a plan. He'd have to, build a custom flange for it, which is fine. Because I know, he mentioned that he's willing to make a turbo header for this thing, so. I don't know. It'll be interesting to say the least with everything. Oh, I like the truck too. I just need to do some work to it so that's actually, nice to drive. Because right now, that thing is kind of awful to drive. It's fun to just tool around town in it, right? But going on a long journey sucks. Because, the seats are the seat is very uncomfortable in it. It's super loud because it's, there's exhaust leaking from the downpipe on the manifold. And, yeah. Now, I have to see exactly where it's leaking on the downpipe, because I know it's somewhere in that downpipe, or maybe there's a hole in the actual exhaust. I do not know. I haven't really taken a close look at that. It hasn't been the highest priority, but now it's getting more towards that. Although Stitch is my main priority right now. Right? The thing is, Stitch, she is my daily driver, so I have to focus on her. And, actually later today, I'm going to try to make an appointment before Friday to get a wheel alignment on the car. And then I need to call the Mustang shop and see if they have a heater core for me in stock. Because if they do, I can stop by on my way down to Lethbridge, get that, and then head to Lethbridge. And then when I get back here, I can do that. That's how your 94 F-150 sucks for long distance drives. See, a 95 shouldn't be bad. Because that has the way better seats in it. Unless if it's just really wore out, which fair enough. The suspension isn't going to be that harsh. And unless if it's modified in a way where it's really loud, there shouldn't be. I'm curious about that. Why do you say that? Because I drove my dad's, he had a 95 F-150 single cab short box. That thing was awesome. It was very comfortable. I love that thing. It's too bad it had a salvage title on it. We didn't know that until after we bought it, but yeah. Then we ended up returning it to the guy, and yeah. That's how that goes. Big spring pack on the rear axle. Yeah. I mean, there's a decent amount of leaps back there. Don't get me wrong, Chris. Do I think it's physically possible my truck could potentially pull the dyno? Potentially. But I don't think that it'd be efficient with it, because it just has not enough power. Right? And I still think I need to do a little bit of suspension upgrades to make it to actually pull that fucking thing too. So, and it's not the goal with that thing. I need to make double the power I'm making right now for it to do that. Oh, you got a Coyote in that thing. Cool. The one that we had was a 306 with the ZF 5-speed in it. That thing was awesome. But you don't want me to actually pull it, just be able to do it? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, because that's the one thing. In a pinch, if it had more power, it would be able to do it. But even so, for reference, what I was towing it with is a modified half-ton Chevy. It's about a 2011 with the 4.8 LS motor in it, right? So that thing struggles up hills with a rails like that, and that's about double the power of what I'm making. Although torque-wise, it's only like an extra, what, 130 foot-pounds of torque over what I... Not even. Like, it's like 100 foot-pounds of torque more than what I've got. So, with that in mind, with a freer flowing exhaust, even though it has a fairly free flowing exhaust, but, you know, get a little better. If I can get a 4-barrel intake and carb on that thing, you know, that should free it up a good bit and then bump up the timing. You know, that's what I'm thinking on it, because I haven't touched the timing at all. Like that timing is set. And because like I haven't tried to check like what's the vacuum of the motor or anything. I haven't even hooked my vacuum gauge up to it because it runs really damn good, that truck. You know. Well, you know, it depends on the vehicle though, Brooklyn. Not every vehicle with flames is equal. You need like it needs to be like a 4-banger Japanese, you know, sort of thing. And then when you add stickers to that, that's what increases the power. Because adding stickers to my truck, it's not gonna add power, unfortunately. It's you know, it's not the right genre. Now, if that was like a JDMK truck, different story. Like you add flames to like a JDMK truck, oh, that's like 100 horsepower, like 100%. And if anybody didn't know, that is entirely sarcasm. You know, because me and her talk fluent in sarcasm. That's kind of our thing. Whew, Rick. Ugh, I'm so tired. So tired. But I still have shit I gotta do today. I just want a day to relax, but I can't overly. Like, I mean, I can totally, but you know. Hi, Wheel Dog. How goes it? Ah, why am I all stuffy? I'm all stuffy. It's no fun. But yeah, so I also need to find some tires for the front of this thing. At some point that are a little sportier, but we'll see. Like the thing is, I have the opportunity to buy a modified head for this thing. Off a buddy of mine. His name is Chris, and it's a 65 motor, but the head has been shaved 50 thou, and it's got adjustable rockers on it. So that would bump up power and stitch a decent bit and make it run a little more efficient. So we'll see. Hi. Oh, Saber, you want down? There you go, buddy. You want down? There you go, buddy. Oh no, Rascal! You're dink. I had a kitty for like a brief moment. I mean, I had Saber for a while, and then Rascal came up, and Saber wanted to leave because Rascal came up, and then Rascal fucked off. That's just mean. It's mean. I got no more kitties on my lap. I'm sad. I'm a sad panda. Oh, frick. Although I really need to pee. So hang on one moment. I need to go to the bathroom because like I really need to pee. So I will be right back. It shouldn't take me long. Oh, so sore, so sore. And apparently you guys need food, don't you? Okay, I'll feed the kitties as well. And then I'll go back. There you go, boys. Enjoy. Okay, now. I'm coming back, folks. Hopefully you all didn't bail on me. Let's see. Survey says... Did everybody leave? Like I said, I was just going pee really quick. Yes. Oddly enough, I can do that. Hey, there we go. Oh, jeez. My chat's being taken over by Chevy people. Chevys are good. Don't get me wrong. We do like Chevys around here, but I own Fords because, like, this is the problem with Chevys comparatively to Fords. And nice, Gavin. That's funny. That's funny. Because the one thing is with Chevys compared to Fords, so you can get cool Fords and them not costing like a ton, right? You can do that. It's really hard to do that with a Chevy. Like, as an example, take, most popular Chevy truck, a square body Chevy, right? Those things are going through the roof in value right now. Trying to find like a decent one, you're looking at like $4,000 minimum, and they can go way up from there. You want a Camaro, they're usually about $2,000-$3,000, right? But yet I've proven with Fox bodies, I've bought a number of cool Fox bodies, although none of them V8s, admittedly, for less than $1,000. I've only paid over $1,000 for my convertible, but that's it. So it's just one of those things, right? Of seeing that sort of thing with, the GM crowd. And because, like I said, I do like GMs, and I would actually own one. It's just I can't afford to do it. Fords are just a little bit cheaper, and they're, and to me, I like them more. Like, I prefer, don't get me wrong, like a square body Chevy is cool as an example, but I like a dead side or a bump side Ford over a square body. I like Mustangs over Camaros typically, although depending with the Firebird, I like the Firebird more. But yeah, I mean, I think the Firebird in every generation looked better than the Camaro though. Every single year, every single generation, the Firebird looked better. And hi, Thomas. Yeah, you paid $1,000 for your car. Yeah, but yours is not. Like, okay, I like what I mean though. Yours is a front-wheel drive Pontiac, right? It's not like the holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever sort of car. And I'm not like bashing a car, but you know what I mean, right? I'm not a front-wheel drive hater. I had a Civic. I loved my Civic, although not that I actually got to drive it, because, yeah. But I had the 78 Civic. I am not a hater of front-wheel drive. But you'll have more fun with a rear-wheel drive, though. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and that is the problem. Like, with a 302, their blocks can only hold, like, 550, 600 horsepower, which is sad. Stock block, anyways. And, where, like, small block Chevy, yeah, you can push it to, like, 750, just about any small block Chevy, as a matter of fact. And like a 351 Windsor is, better, but yeah. You're getting a divorce? I didn't know we were married. But yeah, like it's one of these things. Like your Pontiac, because don't get me wrong, I have a little bit of experience with those, sort of. Like my mom had a second-gen GTP when I was growing up. She managed to blow up the supercharger and blow up the transmission, which is not uncommon for the transmission, but the supercharger, she just never got serviced, and that's why it went. But, and it's just kind of sad, right? And they're really cool cars, but like I said, their transmissions are weak. And that thing was starting to get the rust in the places they like to go, because for some reason, GM can't make a unibody car to save their lives. What I mean by that is they can't make a unibody car that doesn't rot their frame rails out. Like, every single one, I swear to God, since the beginning of them making them. They all do it. It's weird. You don't really see that as much with the Fox bodies. Like, it can happen, but it's not common. Like, I think if I actually had, like, a Camaro as an example, as opposed to the Mustang, it'd probably be severely rotted out by now. But she's not. She does have some rust that I do want to address, but it's not the worst thing. Ever. There we go. Well, that's one way to combat rust. Just keep rust in the hole. Like, just keep welding the holes. That'll work. Yeah, totally. That's part of the thing, but not the entire thing. Well, that's the fun part of putting floors in my truck. Because I'll be able to attach it on 3 points of contact, but, like, I mean, there's going to be multiple points, don't get me wrong, but the whole actual, like, attaching it to the sort of, like, rocker-ish area, there's not much good metal there, so I'm going to have to figure out how I want to tackle that. But we'll see. We'll see. I know, I'm not talking about the bankruptcy years, Chris. Because to be honest, GM was not having bankruptcy issues in the 90s. Yes, they did have an issue where they had to get bailed out in 2009. But, you know, Dodge did as well, and people do forget. Ford didn't initially take the bailout, but they did take a bunch of government money and just called it something else, though. To be fair, like, everybody did. You know? I mean, yeah. Yeah. Then also, like, something I gotta fix with my truck, too. The heater is always on. So I need to figure that one out. And then my fan also in the truck, I need to, like, pull the fan down and see if it's actually the bearing itself or if something is caught in there to make the bearing noise go. But because oh yeah, it screams the sound of its people when it's on, or not every single time, but a decent amount of time it does. So that is frustrating. That way. You need to fix your driver's side window? Well, what are you doing? Get to it, girl. Hi, fat cat. I have a little bunch of coconuts, dee. They're all standing in the row. A big one, small one, one as big as your head. Sorry. When you're talking to your cat, you know. Oh, frick. But yeah, I'm, you know. So that's kind of what I have for ideas and whatever else and plans for the cars and stuff. You know, heater core on this, alignment. See if I can get that head off of Chris. Find some tires for it. Send it. You had to start replacing harnesses on your 80 Chevy 1-ton because of the copper oxidizing down the wires. Oh, that's fun. Gotta love aging wiring harnesses and doing stuff like that. I don't have that issue, thank God, in mine as of yet. But, you know, it could happen. Don't get me wrong. And as well, something that will be nice is in my truck, I'll be able to have the radio work. Yay! Because I ordered some fuses, and they're taking for frickin' ever to actually get here from Amazon. They were supposed to be, like, a couple days, and they're calling for, like, a month. Like, what the hell? They're just glass fuses. Like, this is not rocket science. Okay, dude. Like I mentioned to you before, you're weird. And if you keep calling me baby, that's just not going to end well for you. Because, hi, I'm a lesbian. You have a penis. You can, like, go away with that sort of talk that way. I'm not your baby. I'm not your honey. I'm not your girl. I am a girl. Yes. I'm also a lesbian. So is that. You had that problem with your Torino, just had to put a ball valve in the heater hose? Well, that's not really the problem with mine. It's the blend door that doesn't close. That's the problem. Well, I mean, does anything really exist, Brooklyn? Does anybody? Does anything? You know, we are all a construct of a figment of our imagination in a way. You know, because I mean, really, what is our personality? Technically, a figment of your imagination. How do you identify? Technically, that's a figment of your imagination. If you want to get really technical about it. Hi Jim, how's it going? How about just call me Kat or Katarina? You know? Because that's just fucking weird. Nicholas, so actually, it's a Capri, kind of. Uh, this is actually an 81 Mustang notchback with a Capri front clip on it. I mean, hang on. You want some cat? You want some cat? Here you go. Got some cat. Here's some cat. Mwah. Yeah. And this Mustang, like I said, she was my first car. I bought her in March of 2019 for only $500, and I've done a shitload of work to it since. She still needs a bunch more work, but I'm getting it done slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. And also, no. And I love how you say again. I was never straight to begin with. Like, not at all. So you can like fuck off there, Javier. Yeah, to be honest, like the second gen Capri, right? Because there's the European Capri and there's the North American Capri. The first gen Capri existed in North America from 1974 to 1978. Then they switched to the Fox body, which genuinely every single part from a Capri Fox body will bolt onto a Mustang. So yeah, and I'm making myself a Capri. But yeah, like that was $500. But the thing is, I've spent a lot more into it since. So, Kate Fever, sir, hi. And now she's got a T5 manual swap that I did myself. She has an 8.8 rear end, 355s. There's subframe connectors underneath of it. There's strut brace under the hood. You know, there's a lot of other little things like that all around the car. Hi, buddy. Mwah. No. Well, when you're talking like you're an absolute douche canoe there, bud, you're not going to get a woman, period. Like, maybe grow some respect and realize that people don't want you. People don't care about you. If you're going to talk like that, I don't need you here, period. You're damn right, because I told you I was a lesbian, and also you're being a freaking douchebag. Completely, bud. Completely. Am I ever going to cage the car? There is a possibility of that, or at the very least, a roll bar with a harness bar. That is the very least of what I'll do. I don't know about a full cage. I will have to see about that. I have not decided if I want to do the full race car thing. Like, I do, but I don't. You know? I mean, the car can be put on my dyno, yeah. You know? But, like, the thing is, Depending on, like, do you want, as an example, do you want it as a private show? Like, do you want to, like, do tuning on it as an example? Do you want to just see what the numbers are? What are you wanting out of that? Because, yeah, it can happen. Like, that could definitely happen that way. Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely stiffen up the chassis a lot more. Make it handle a little better. Gonna add obviously a decent amount of weight, but and then you'll have the safety element. The only thing that sucks about a cage is that if you're not wearing a helmet and all the right safety equipment, in a crash, a cage can do more harm than good without wearing a helmet. That's the only downside to it if you're like driving on the street, as an example. Oh, you won't go away? Really? 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 You won't go away? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, fuck. There we go. Just like that. Bam. He says, oh, I can't go away. I will always be in your mind. Poof. Bye. Hey, when you tempt fate like that, you're going to feel the wrath. Just saying. Hi, fat cat. Well, it's, yeah, the welcome to my stream there, Gavin, because you said like this is like your first time here or something like that earlier, which, yeah, well, I'm glad you care, and you get to see some of that side of my live streams. Every once in a while, you'll get somebody like that in here. Most of the time, it's just chill vibes, chatting cars and trucks and whatever else, and, yeah, hey, no, that had nothing to do with my meds, nothing to do with my meds. Hey, of course, Chris. You're never, like... Here's the thing, Chris. You're never bad with what you say or anything. So, I'm fine with that. You're never hitting on me or anything like that, so I don't really care. Oh, hi, buddy. Hi, Bug. I have a fat cat. Yes, I do. I have a fat cat. I love him. But yeah, like... And the thing is, I actually do have an opportunity. It's probably not going to happen. This will have to wait till next year. But I have an opportunity to race at Strawberry Creek Raceway in October. And I do want to do it. It's just, I don't think my funds will be there, unfortunately. So, with that in mind, it sucks, but it's okay. It is what it is. Because I'd love to run the full track there, I haven't been able to. I've only ran the short track on the road course. You have a 92 GMC Sierra 3500 two-wheel drive. It's real special to me. And it was your wife's grandmother's. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your loss, but it sounds like it's an awesome truck, and, you're carrying on with their legacy with it. Because, hell yeah. Like, and I love stuff like that, of being able to do that for people, And it's nice that she actually did leave that to you, because, I definitely see, like, you have the passion for that truck, which is great, I'm sure you'll go do great things with it. Even if it's just maintaining it and driving it, that's awesome. Like, who doesn't love that? And, because if you don't, then you are a heartless bastard, and you can leave my chat. Hey, buddy. Yeah, well, I mean, back then, though, there was a lot of, like, two-wheel drive dualies. Although, he doesn't necessarily say it's a dually, to be fair. He just says it's a 3500, right? Which is a one-ton. But it could be a dually. And because, like, the really rare ones, if it happened to be that, because being a 92, Actually, 92 is still a square body, right? So that's... Here's a question. Is that thing a 3+3? Like, because the square bodies in the 1 tons were still made to, like, 92, 93, something like that? Yours is... Yeah, yours is 2-wheel drive. Oh, and it's... Okay, so it's not a dually. Fair enough, that's cool. 2-wheel drive single cab is what your dually is. Hey, fun. Fun. You know, I love me a good single cab. Like, don't get me wrong. Quad cabs and extended cabs are convenient. But the look of a single cab is just... chef's kiss. Are you really just going to sleep like that, Saber? I mean, I'm okay with it, but that's an interesting spot for you to sit. Hey, buddy? Alright, I got my kitty, so I'm giving him attention too. Hey, buddy? But, and that's the thing, like, and like, I've had contemplations of, you know, like, making my truck have more power and stuff, but, like, a lot more power, but at the same time, I'm like, that's going to require a lot more work and money that I don't currently have. So, there's that. Like, I don't really want to do a full build of the truck. Like, I want to do some things to it, but, not quite to that extent. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? And it has a... Oh, really? I'm surprised that that 1 ton only has a 350 in it. Huh. Cool. Good engine, though. Very good engine. I mean, Brooklyn, I have a turbo sitting in my shed, but that's going to go with this. So there's that. I mean, I have 2 turbos in my shed, to be fair, but that turbo makes more sense for this. And the smaller turbo wouldn't make any damn sense on my truck. That, and also, with what I'm doing and everything like that, I have to make sure my truck can run on, like, 87 octane. As soon as I put a turbo on it, that's not going to happen. So there's that. There's that. You know. That's shitty to hear there, Will Dog. But rust takes out a lot of different vehicles, and it sucks. I freaking hate dealing with rust. Like, I gotta do some rust repair on this thing, too, but... in time. It will be fun when it's done, but I still need the ignition, and I still need the fuel system for it. I have the carburetor, technically, but I need the intake modified so that it'll actually fit better. So there's that. Like, I can't put the 500 CFM Holly sideways. I can't do it. Now, if I did it as a draw-through setup, then that's no big deal, and I can just, you know, route the turbo straight into the hole. But, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Also, hi there! I do not know how to say your name, so I'm not even going to try, because I'll probably butcher that really hard. But hi! How's it going? But yeah, it will be really fun with the turbo. Like, and to be honest, I don't know. If I can roughly double my horsepower output when I have the turbo on it, that'd be cool. Like, I only want to run 10 pounds of boost. Max 10 pounds of boost. And just have fun with it. So, I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, Small World. Maybe they're related. Maybe not. But that'd be a really small world incident like that there, Chris, if that's the case. If so, that's kind of cool. Because, not gonna lie, that sort of thing actually happened to me. I used to play World of Tanks on PC all the time, and we happened to be in the same clan. My cousin Nathan, who I did not know existed, he lives out in Winnipeg, and, you know, we were playing, and then when we started to talk about, like, family stuff, whatever, it's like, we're talking about, like, the same family traits and very similar stories and all this different stuff. And then we looked each other up in the family tree, and like, yep, there you are. There I am. So, yeah, found my cousin on the internet. Like, on, you know, on World of Tanks of all things. It's, like, so bizarre. Yeah, well, and sometimes, unfortunately, with stuff like that, you have to cut your losses because you either can't afford it or it's just not economical to really fix it properly, and it's sad. It's very sad. I mean, the thing is, I'd love to, after all of my modifications are done on the car, I'd love it to make, like 300 to the wheels. That'd be cool. But will it happen? I don't know. It's difficult to extract the power out of these little motors. You can do it, but it's very difficult. Um, if you start chopping off the intake and stuff like that, then it helps out a lot. But until you get rid of that log intake, you're kind of in a log jam with a really horrible flowing intake. That's the big problem. But I mean, and I've driven Fox bodies that have made like 280 to the wheels, and they fly. They fly. So we'll see. That's fair. Well, I mean, depending though, Chris, if it happens to be higher mileage and whatever else like that, you could actually put boost to it without touching the piston rings, because with higher mileage engines, they're already going to have a bit of that gap. Like, put it this way, Chris. Does your truck on startup, does it blow blue by chance? Because if it does, hey, putting a boost to it would probably actually seal it up, to be honest. It's kind of funny, and it's a weird thing, but actually that could work. If it does, it probably doesn't, but if it does, I've seen people do it. I've seen people run nitrous through a really wore out motor, and it sealed it right up, and it ran better than it ever had before. It's kind of funny too. Oh, sorry about that, Will Dog. Yeah, because yeah, Jim was sending me some stuff on Instagram. I can't look at it right now, but I'll look at it later. Now, I mean, Brooklyn, what's the motor in your vehicle again? Because I don't think you have to do that, to be honest. Like, how high is your compression ratio? Because you can turbo just about anything, to be honest. Okay, fair enough, Chris. Fair enough. Then yeah, you'd probably want to take the motor apart and do that. Like for me, I'm just gonna send it and see what happens. Okay, 3800 series 3 NA. I mean, if you run low boost, you wouldn't have to do that. Like, the thing is, you wouldn't want to run a lot of boost in that anyways. Because your transmission will go bye-bye. It's gonna grenade itself. But like as an example, you run like 5-6 pounds of boost, you're fine. Like the yeah, like just a little bit of boost, right? You don't need all the boost in the world. Hell, even stock Eaton M90 only made like 8, so there's that. Like, and to be honest, that thing is what 9.2, 9.4 to 1, something like that. Because they're not like 10.5 or anything like that, or even like 11. No, that you would notice it. People think that, oh, this little amount of boost you'll never notice. Wrong. If you have the right setup with a small amount of boost, it can make a drastic difference in power. And for reference, depending on your overall setup when running boost, the rule of thumb usually for lower power applications, like what you would be doing, for every 1 pound of boost is approximately 10 horsepower, right? So there's that. And 7.9 to 1 from the factory stock. Oh, that would hold boost really well. Yeah. But yeah, like, but Brooklyn, that's the thing. And hell, and you say 5 pounds of boost ain't worth it? You know that so John, who owns the dyno that I, work for / am going to be actually, the owner of in the future. His blower truck with an 871 blower on it on a 496 big block. He's only pushing 4 pounds of boost. That's it. And that thing makes a shitload of power off that boost. Because it's also, like, depending on how big, as an example, whether you go supercharged, whether you go turbo, how much air it's actually flowing. Because even though, yes, like, you can run 5 pounds of boost through a pipe like this big, and it's not really going to make much of a difference. But you run 5 pounds of boost in a pipe this big, you're going to have a much bigger power output from that, right? So it's little things like that. The more air you can push into it and push out of it, the more power you can potentially make. That's the whole thing. Your engine is an air pump, right? And that's why, turbos are on basically everything nowadays. You're kind of hard put to get much things that are actually NA powered now, like especially in like economy stuff, because everybody does turbos. On all those 4-bangers, some of the 6s, and even some of the V8s have turbos from the factory. And I like a good NA setup. Don't get me wrong, but boost is fun. And it's just a cheap way to make power, because if I wanted to make a bunch of power NA from my engine, it wouldn't be streetable. And that's the thing. I still want to be able to drive it on the street. So, I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. Ugh. So tired. So tired. But, to be honest, I gotta make a few phone calls. I gotta answer some emails and stuff like that. So I'm going to let y'all go. But it's been a fantastic live. Just like it was an impromptu live in the middle of the afternoon. You guys were absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for tuning in. And stay tuned. Like I'm gonna be trying to make more content here very shortly. Like I'll probably try and film a video today if I'm not too tired on the car, and then go from there. So anyways, take care of yourselves. Appreciate you all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.